Week 10 of your Schmuck Sports Pick-em League. I'm Fernando.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we're coming off a week. Nothing too crazy really happened. Cowboys narrowly escaped, or the Steelers narrowly escaped the Cowboys. The NFC East, one team outdid the other terrible team, and that was about it.
Yeah, no, I lost a lot of money playing, on all my wagers. Not a lot of money, but I got my head beat in. A lot of games that I thought were gonna, I was laying a lot of large spreads last week, and that was not happening. That Carolina game was closer than
Had to make a long field goal to win that game.
Yeah, and Cowboys deciding to show up against Pittsburgh. That was brutal. Tried to, I got a little two-leg parlay for Sunday Night Football. And,
so ugly.
I mean,
I was looking forward to that game. All right, we got one more great game, and then the Buccaneers couldn't get anything done. Oh, I think I shut my microphone off there for a bit. But it's all good. We're still going.
Oh, was it off?
For a little bit, I think I accidentally brought it down, but now I see it coming up there. So
damn. Okay. So yeah, I loved the Saints last week anyway. But I figured the over would hit.
Well, the Saints did their part to get the over.
Yeah, exactly. That was the worst part about it. I'm like, all right, cool. They're comfortably covering the spread, but Tampa Bay couldn't even get started. So. It was
and
a little
field
wacky.
goal, that field goal they kicked, they were already down, I think 31-0. So it's like, all right, so you're gonna. I'm like, why don't you go for it?
Yeah.
And they kicked the field goal. It's like, all right, I guess that's gonna help you in some sort of way. I don't know.
Yeah, it was wacky. It was a bad week, but we're gonna bounce back again this week. So.
Oh, but then Monday night game, I was cheering for the Jets hardcore. I mean, I think most of the country would be outside of Patriot fans or anyone who put wagers down. But up by 10 points with the fourth quarter to go, I knew the Jets could jet themselves, and they ended up doing it. Flacco, that interception he threw after I believe New England made it a one-score game. It's like, here we go. It was right there. It's like, there go the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets being the Jets, and they did put up a good fight though.
They did
one of the better games of the week. Surprisingly.
Well, we were talking earlier, guess what, everybody? The Jets are not going to lose a game this week. You know why?
Because they're on a bye.
They have a bye. That's why.
The bye is why.
The bye is why. The Jets will go 0-0 this week. We do have one game in the books. The Colts took down the Titans in Tennessee. That game was fun until halftime, and then Tennessee's punting game didn't show up. They had a shank and then a block, and honestly, that was almost the difference in the game. That was 14 points out of those two.
Yeah. Indianapolis, their defense and special teams showing up. They've been coming up big
again all year.
I didn't really think that they were. I was kind of betting against them this week. Just because I did like them against the Ravens last week, which they did. They did actually they showed up and they gave Phillip Rivers a chance.
I think the play I've seen the most over and over is Phillip Rivers on his back, trying to tackle that guy.
Yeah, I just saw him trip over his feet and then fall flat on his back.
Oh, he tripped over the 35-yard line.
Yeah,
there's that string there.
The stripe on the paint on the field tripped him up, and it was. I just he didn't help himself out, and he didn't help that defense out. But the defense showed up
for sure.
Defense showed up again this week against the Titans. Titans are reeling. I don't know what to think about them right now.
We'll see. I mean, they're still in the obviously in playoff contention, and they do have to play the Jaguars, I think, a couple of times. So they got a couple of wins coming up for them. But for this week, they are done already. Let's move in the Sunday games. First game. Now, this is an interesting one to me. The Texans at 2-6 going to the 5-3 Cleveland Browns. Now, Cleveland has not been to the playoffs in 18 years. They haven't won a playoff game, I think, in almost 30, little under 30 years. They're 3.5-point favorites. I want to pick the Texans in this game. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like in Cleveland, but I don't know if it matters. I don't know, Cleveland. This is when they lose the games they're supposed to win to like help themselves out to make the playoffs, and this is where I just think they start acting like the Browns again. And I kind of want them to win. I think I prefer. My heart wants Cleveland, but my brain is saying the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans' offense looks pretty good right now. I mean, if anything, maybe that could like keep them in the game. I don't know what they're doing much on the defensive side. Maybe J.J. Watt, rallies the troops and brings it on Baker. I mean, if there's a favorable matchup, this would be a good matchup for them to like take advantage and exploit.
For sure.
So
and the Texans have been giving up a league high in rushing yards, and that is something Cleveland excels in with Hunt and Chubb coming back from injury.
Oh, so he is coming back this week.
Alleged, sure. They're still saying possibly a game time decision, but as of right now, he's off the IR. So he had his 3-game miss. I think it's more like a 70-30 he'll be back. So the numbers are looking good, but even so, Chubb or Hunt, they're both great running backs. So
right.
Cleveland's got a nice problem there where and they could just I don't know. Either way, if Houston can slow down that running attack just a little bit, they're averaging almost 160 yards against them on the ground. So easier said than done if you're Texans, but I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those games that Cleveland does the Cleveland thing.
All right. Well then, I'm still gonna roll with Cleveland, but give me Houston and the points because it's probably gonna be a close game.
I agree. Yeah, 3.5 right now is the spread on ESPN, so that could go either way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close game for sure.
Yeah, which team makes the fewest mistakes will be the winners. Like both teams make.
That's
plenty
really
of
hard
mistakes.
to call right now. Because,
yeah, big time.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be on the Texans side. That's what you would think, but I don't know. Baker, he's reeling for one. He's looking to throw a few picks this week coming out. He was they went on a bye and wasn't he on the COVID list also? He was sick.
He was. He almost didn't play the last time, but I think he cured all that, so he's passed all of those tests.
Lingering COVID effects, you can factor that into the outcome.
So we got one Brown. Yeah, look at that. We already have one difference. Next one, the Washington football team, coming off a tough loss to the Giants. The Giants are 2-0 this year against Washington. I'm just saying that because that's their only 2 wins of the year. And then Washington goes and plays the Lions. Lions had no answer for Dalvin Cook last week in Minnesota. Lions 3-5, Washington 2-6. Washington still alive in that NFC East, only a game and a half behind Philly.
Alex Smith is starting.
Alex Smith, the feel-good story of the year.
He had a pretty good game last week.
He did. Coming in relief. Tough luck for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Or Kyle Allen. No, that was Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen.
So many Allens in the league right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen dislocating ankle, done for the year. So it's really, unless they go back to Haskins, this is Alex Smith's team the rest of the year, which again is great after that horrific leg injury. Right now, I think this game is even. I don't have a spread here on ESPN. But you know what? I want to go with Washington in this one. Detroit could just show up and have an amazing game. They're just so inconsistent. They definitely didn't show up last week against the Vikings. I'm going to go with Washington. Alex Smith getting his first win as a starter in over 2 years or so.
Yeah. I don't know if I can go with Washington again this week. They were ones that burned me also. I'm just feeling salty against towards the football team. I almost called them, the Skins.
The orange.
Yeah, no, but Detroit, man. I'm just by default, like I said, I can't really roll with the Skins or the football team this week, so I'm definitely gonna roll with the Lions. I think that they just happen to run into a hot Viking squad. Skull sculling it up. Like, man, I mean, like we said last week, Dalvin Cook, you just got to feed him the rock. But
Yeah.
and they had no answer for that. I don't think anybody has an answer for that. But this is a game that they can get right on the Lions. So I'm going to go with the Lions this week.
All right, 2 games, 2 different picks. I got a good feeling we're going to both have the same decision. Ooh, a little side note I just got here. Alex Smith, 5-0 career against the Lions. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
We got the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Luton. How do you say their new quarterback's last name?
Yeah, Luton.
Luton versus Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. Currently 13.5-point favorites. I would love to see nothing more than Jacksonville going to Lambeau and give the biggest upset of the year, but it's not going to happen.
That's not happening. There's no way.
Packers. It's funny because Rodgers is only 7-6 versus the AFC South, and they usually don't have like a big powerhouse team like Andrew Luck and the Colts maybe early on in Rodgers' career, but 7-6 just seems like you think Rodgers would be more dominant against them. But it doesn't matter. They're gonna
they can sleepwalk through this game, and
if
win.
the Packers' run defense is a little questionable. So if they can give it to who's a rookie, Robinson, James Robinson. If James Robinson can have himself a game, and just kind of like what the Vikings did against the Packers a couple weeks ago, Packers had like a 8-minute drive. The Vikings counter with an 8-minute drive. And then it was kind of back and forth like that. If you can keep Rodgers on the sideline, the best defense is a good offense. The Jaguars' offense all year, I mean, whether it's Minshew or Luton, they're not terrible.
Yeah, no, I like them. It just, man, I mean, the defense is just what scares me about them.
Terrible.
They were really bad, but they can definitely put up the points. So. Who knows?
The points.
What is this? What is the spread?
Right now it says 13.5. So I don't know. I want to say it'll be under that, but I feel like I could see like a 31-17 or a 34. Like it seems like the Packers are just gonna have their way with them. I can see fucking Jordan Love coming into this game just because the game is out of reach and they'll let their first round draft pick get his first piece of NFL action.
Well, if last week was any example of what was going to happen against the spread, I was laying a lot of those large double-digit lines. I'm going to roll with the Jags plus 13.5. But I mean, I'm going to go with the Packers, so of course.
Packers will win that game, yeah. Unfortunately. What do we got next? We got the Eagles, Philly, the first place Eagles at 3-4-1. They'll be playing in New York, taking on Danny Dimes and those Giants who came off of their second win of the year. Eagles coming off a bye, I believe. Yeah, they were bye last week. 4-point favorites to Philly. Now Philly might be getting Dallas Goedert back, Alshon Jeffrey back.
Miles Sanders
is coming back, they said for sure. I mean, they got a lot of the pieces in place. Eagles barely beat the Giants a few weeks ago, but again, if they're getting everyone back, I really want I think I want the Giants to win, but I think the Eagles are going to win. I'll pick Philly, even though I don't want Philly to win.
Yeah, what's the spread on that one again?
Just 4 points.
Yeah, I'm laying the points and taking Philly as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that Jeffrey back is is big, and Miles Sanders, when he's back, I think that offense is just, clicks a little bit better. And
Jeffrey's that 50-50 ball guy where you just toss it up. He generally wins those jump balls, and I think that'll be something that'll really help out Carson Wentz, assuming he doesn't throw his interceptions that he usually does.
Yeah, he needs all the help that he can get.
Show.
It's going to be a good, this is a good week for him, and they should definitely handle the Giants, no problem.
Next up, we're going to go Buccaneers. Coming off of an ugly loss. They will be going to division rival Carolina. Carolina, who gave the Chiefs everything they could handle. Tampa Bay 5.5-point favorites.
Did you see that game at all?
The Panthers
Yeah.
Chiefs? I did not see it, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, you were still sleeping?
Yeah, I was dreaming about Dalvin Cook running for 200 yards, and it came true.
Yeah, I know. You didn't. Yeah, I know. I did watch the game or parts of it from the red zone, and they were on a lot, and it just
Oh yeah,
they were
was it like
moving.
33,
They were moving the
31?
ball, man. I mean, against Kansas City defense that I've been I thought was pretty solid, and they haven't really been giving up that many points. But they kind of look like they were lackadaisical, or like Teddy Two Gloves was like he was kind of ripping them apart. He was dissecting that defense. He was running. He was running hard too, like
Yeah,
diving. Like not
thought
even
I saw
sliding.
a couple of leaps too, like leaping over.
Yeah, he was, and so. I think the team just has a little bit of that like confidence, and like that they could step up and hang in there with like the Super Bowl champs, and then they're going up against Tampa Bay, which looked really bad last week against the Saints on Sunday Night Football.
Very bad. I mean, both sides of the ball. Like you can't. Brady looked terrible. The offense was bad. Defense couldn't stop the Saints at all.
Tom Brady is Drew Brees' son right now. He's son his ass.
He is like, I mean, 3 losses, 2 of them against the Saints, handily.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
I'm definitely going under that 5.5 if I'm a betting man.
Yeah.
Which I am.
So
I am taking. You know what? I'll go out on the limb too. I already I got a couple of crazy upsets. I like the Panthers at home. Like, don't sleep on Teddy Two Gloves. I know they're not going to have McCaffrey was back last week for them.
Yeah, exactly.
He's missing this way. I don't like Mike Davis doesn't have all the skill sets as McCaffrey does, but he is a fine replacement. And
he's not like a huge step down from like McCaffrey. I mean McCaffrey. Had he stayed, didn't get too banged up, but like some of the hits that he was taking and some of the punishment, he was just getting like, the ball, like he was, he was like their horse, and he was taking some hits and like, just like, damn, man, they're gonna kill the kid, but I mean, there's a good reason because he's a solid body, and some of the moves that he's making, like you put the ball in his hands, he's gonna like produce. And sucks that he's out, but Mike Davis is nice. I'm gonna roll with the Panthers as well.
All right, look at that.
So.
Couple of Panther wins on here. Now this is crazy. This week we only have 5 early games, and there are 6 like afternoon games, not counting Sunday Night Football.
Oh, nice.
So for some reason they decided to like swap. Maybe there's just an extra amount of games being played on the West Coast. I don't know, but for the
like that.
I agree, yeah, because it's like, I do, like, 50-50, I think is the way to go with that.
Yeah, I kind of, it'd be nice to, like, have a slower start to the morning or whatever, and then, like, pick it up in the afternoon, because you need that action in the afternoon. It gets stale, like, and there's only, like, 2 games in the afternoon.
Agree, yeah, especially, like, what if they both suck, too? Like, you gotta, like, we have 2 blowouts, like, well, I guess we just gotta wait for the Sunday night game and hope that one doesn't suck.
Yeah, exactly.
But first one I got here, we got the Broncos at the Raiders. This game is intriguing. It's 4-point favorites for the Raiders. Broncos come in 3-5 at the 5-3 Raiders. I feel like I've picked against the Raiders all year. Oh, I can see the Broncos winning this, but I'll go with the Raiders this week. I think I'll pick the Raiders. But it will come down to the final draw. Like, it could be a 4-point spread. That could be like 24-20 or 31-27. But this game is going to be good. I think this game will be really good. But I'll take the Raiders, like, just barely inching out the Broncos.
Yeah, I picked Jerry Jeudy to be a breakout player last week, and he did just that.
I'll say he had a good game last week.
Yeah, he had a huge game. He actually helped me win my my DraftKings matchup. I won this week. I'm 2-8.
You're
2-9. Oh, and 2-7. But in DraftKings terms, like that's pretty good. I think the leader in our in my division, or the winning division, the upper division is has four wins.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so
4-6 is a good record.
yeah. I mean, it's tough to go up against 10 other players and be top of the league at the end of the week. But yeah, no, he had a great game, and Locke, I think he's ready to go. I think it's gonna be a shootout probably.
Him staying healthy, I'd like to see him stay healthy a full year, because when he's out there and he gets to, keep it going, Drew Lock, he looks like a quarterback of the future. I mean, we got a lot of young quarterbacks right now, and I mean, his record isn't great, but he's, it's a full team effort. It's a lot of his record. It doesn't have to do with the way he's playing. So I feel like I don't know. I think I just like picking upsets, but I'm going to go with the favorite. I'm going to say Oakland will inch this one out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Oakland, they're
Las Vegas. Excuse me.
Oakland. Yeah. I mean, their offensive line is a little dinged up right now, and Broncos, their defense, they get to bring a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So. Could be a long day for Carr, but I mean, I just think that Vegas is a more complete team. I think I said that last week as well, in that matchup, whoever they played.
Whoever they beat. They beat somebody.
Denver exploited the oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, Denver exploited the Falcons, which they're and anybody could get a piece of that.
Oh yeah.
So and that's I don't think they're going to be able to do that against Vegas this week. So I'm definitely going with Vegas, and Nelson Aguilar has been doing his thing. He's been a big target, and Waller's nice.
I picked him up 1 week in fantasy because I needed all my wide receivers were on a bye. So I'm like, all right, everyone's talking high on Aguilar, and it was the one game in Cleveland where the winds were crazy and he had 0 catches. So the one time I played him, I got 0 points, and then every other game around that, he's getting 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nelson Aguilar putting up numbers for the Raiders. But yeah, should be a good game.
I'm going with Vegas.
I'll go with Vegas as well. Now this is another there's a lot of great games here. We got the Chargers at the Dolphins. Dolphins 5-3, Chargers 2-6. The 5th overall pick versus the 6th overall pick at quarterback, with Tua against Herbert, or as I've heard Raider fans call him, Sherbert, another nickname for him. Miami only 1.5 favorites, 1.5 points in the favorite column. I think we could see a nice little shootout here with rookie versus rookie. But as far as the way the Dolphins defense is playing, I got to go with Miami in this one. They just beat the Cardinals, another good team. They're taking down some good teams, and like I said, we got our dollar bet. I said Dolphins make the playoffs. I'm going to stick by that whole dollar. That is 100 pennies, everybody. That Dolphins will make the playoffs, and I'm going to say they go in there and get a win against the Chargers. I think is going to be a great game.
So did you watch the game? What did you think of Tua last week?
From what I saw, his mobility looked really good. Moving around, he had a couple of nice jump, kind of a fade patterns in the end zone where where they always talk about hitting those small windows, and he can hit those windows. He was nailing them.
Yeah,
he looked his first game. He really didn't have to do much. His defense took care of everything. Last week he had to do a lot more, and he came out with a win. He looked great.
Yeah, his escapability out of the pocket, when it collapses, he was getting out of there, and his hip doesn't look like it's even a factor. That was his injury, that ended his season with Alabama, was a hip.
It could possibly have kept him from being in Cincinnati, who took Burrow instead of him. But Miami, Miami took him at 5, and then Chargers took Herbert at 6. And I don't know. I think it's going to be a great game. But with the Chargers, how many last second losses can you get? They had I remember watching the play live when they lost to the Raiders last week. And I could see the ball hit the ground. I'm like, Raiders just won. even though they called it a touchdown. And then they've had against the Broncos a few weeks ago. It was like Drew Lock hit whoever for the last
minute
touchdown.
drive, and they kick a field goal to win.
The Chargers are 2-6. They could easily be 6-2. Like it seems like every time they go out there, they play great for like almost 3.95 quarters. They win, except for the last 0.05% of, or whatever my numbers are, like poor Chargers.
Yeah, it's horrible. You know, I'm forced to watch these games living out here, and it's like it's brutal, and you know that's just kind of like their MO is to like give up the game late.
It is,
and it's like it's a bad omen.
They complained about Phillip Rivers doing it. Now it's just a new.
It just looks better now that I mean.
I like to go to Facebook and read all the Charger fans' posts. It's like, who wants to come over and have a shot with me? Who wants to come over and drink all the rest of the?
It's
like
sad,
they just want to drink
man.
their sorrows away, and I get it. It's like these losses they suck. I mean, if I couldn't imagine.
We live here in San Diego. It's not the San Diego Chargers anymore, but you still feel the agony of their like loss every week. You know, the way they lose it at the end of the game, it's brutal. But Herbert looks really good.
Yeah, they got to like the future. I mean, from what they got out of Herbert, like, again, in my opinion, I think he's Offensive Rookie of the Year, just ahead of Burrow. Possible. We'll see. Tua's only got 2 games under him, so. But I like.
He took a beating last week, man.
Who, Herbert?
Yeah. He took a.
Oh, he had a couple. He had a nice little another one of those jumping over people kind of plays, like, or I think that might have been Carr. I don't know. But yeah, he did because he had to come out of the game. I think Tyrod came in for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And there's another thing. They get that 2-point conversion, field goal. You can at least get overtime, but.
The coach has got to go. I mean, that's who's going to get the axe. You know,
I like Jeff Lynn. Is that his name? Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn.
I like him. I think he's a great coach. But yeah, it's the Chargers' luck, and he's unfortunately
feeling it.
He's reaping the badness of it.
Bosa's out again this week. I don't know.
Which again, the defense. Like I like a shooter. I kind of and you know what? I had Matt Ryan as my quarterback. He's got a bye this week, so I looked to the waiver wire. I saw Tua there. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go with Tua, my quarterback.
Yeah, you should roll with that. That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback.
So, yes, let's go. The Miami Tuas over the Los Angeles Herberts.
It is Tunga Vailoa, which I don't really understand. I thought it was Tagovailoa. I thought everybody was just, doing the whole... Oh, I can't pronounce her name, so I'm going to call him Tunga because he's
but it is
Polynesian,
Tunga.
Whatever. But yeah,
Tunga Vailoa.
Tunga Vailoa. So yeah, my mistake.
I'm just going to stick with Tua. I know I can pronounce that correctly.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Chargers this week. Something's got to give, and I'm playing the odds, and I think this is the week.
Another game that could go either way too. Flip a coin if you don't know what to pick. But
yeah, what's the spread, real quick?
1.5. So very close game projection.
I'm rolling with the Chargers.
Another close one. We got again another great game. The Bills going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals coming off a tough loss to said Dolphins we just spoke of. The Bills coming off of a big win against the Seahawks. Seahawks kind of seem to be I don't want to say flatlining, but they're not playing very well. But either way, the Bills look great at 7-2. They just got a game and a half lead over those Dolphins. Those Dolphins are, I don't know. I like the Dolphins, man. I don't know if they'll win that division. They still got to play each other again too. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Bills. I feel like I don't know. This is another toss-up for me. Just 2.5 point spread. But I want to take. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Cardinals, I think, in this one. I think Cardinals rebound from a tough loss. Murray doesn't seem to get rattled too often. He gets, you hear his post-game, he takes it personally. When they lose, it's he doesn't blame anyone but himself, and it's it's a team effort, but I like them bouncing back and having a nice outcome against the Bills.
Yeah, I watched the Bills play against Seahawks last week. and their defense looked really good. The score wasn't as close as it said it was. They just kind of,
what was it, 10, like 44-34 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. But the Seahawks were trailing I think by a couple touchdowns at a time. They'd score a touchdown, then they'd pull ahead, and I think they brought it within 10 points at the end, but barely.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know. I really like the Bills' defense in this game, but the offense was rolling. They were lights out. So
Arizona's defense is kind of hit or miss.
I don't know if Budda Baker, is he questionable this week or he'll still play.
Yeah,
I don't see why he wouldn't play, but
I think we'll have a lot of these games are just all I see are this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a good game.
It's definitely going to be one to watch. I don't know, maybe take the over on the total. But I'm going to roll with the Bills. I like the way they bounced back last week, especially in a big spot. That was a signature win for them, against the Seahawks.
For sure. That was, mano a mano, and they came out on top.
Yeah, if they look to continue to roll through that NFC West division, they're ready to go. I think they're definitely motivated, and they're ready to roll for through the division and maybe this week.
So the division's not much. I think I'm looking forward to the next time they play Miami. That'll be for as far as division games, against the Patriots, whatever. Against the Jets, they already swept the Jets.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Dolphins Bills Part 2 whenever that happens. But I'm going with Cardinals.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Still afternoon games. I said we had 6 of them. We're only halfway through them. Now this I'm shocked at the point spread on this one. We got the Seahawks going to the LA Rams, a divisional matchup. Rams at 5-3, Seahawks at 6-2. The Rams are 2-point favorites in this game. That kind of baffles my mind. I kind of like Seattle to rebound. They talk about Russell Wilson, how he almost has too much he has to do. If he makes the slightest mistake, that could cost his team. He'll make a million great plays throughout the game, but their defense is so terrible. And Russell Wilson has to do pretty much everything to make sure that they win these games. And Rams defense is good. I just don't trust Jared Goff really at all. Against this defense, maybe a little more so. But I'm kind of shocked the Seahawks are underdogs. I like them to win this game.
Wilson has to do more now, or at least the past couple games, because Carson's been out.
True. Running game hasn't been the same.
Yeah, the running game's been terrible.
And Carson's still questionable. He might be back. He's another one of those game time decisions I've been hearing about.
There's only so much he can do. Passes he can make. They've got to get something going with the run game. Because that's kind of how they set up the play action and everything. If they don't have that, then I can see why Wilson's forcing things into places.
It's not bad to force it though to DK Metcalf. That guy is a monster in a positive way. He's it's still the play of the year. Is it still him running down? Well, it might be Phillip Rivers falling on his back trying to make a tackle.
Yeah, but that rundown
is still just tattooed in my brain. I can't that was.
Well, that meme that keeps popping up too.
Oh
just
yeah,
where they paste whatever
I think they put managers was the guy who enters, the Arizona guy, and then Karen's coming down to take him down. There's been a ton of them, and they're all hilarious.
Yeah, but it's just funny. It's just crazy because how fast he runs up on him.
The Cowboys, their playoff chances just coming down. And hey, the Cowboys are still. Hey, you're still alive in that NFC East. I'm not. You guys got to buy. You're also not losing this week.
Yeah, exactly. So we're the Jets and the Cowboys are gonna have great weeks this week.
Yes,
bank that.
They are both ending weeks of having a loss. No weeks of a loss this week for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Falcons as well, even though they're coming off with. But we'll get into that.
I'm gonna roll with the Rams.
All right,
I'm gonna take the Rams. Damn, Seahawks lose 3 in a row. That'd be wild.
That would be. Yeah, they were 6-0, weren't they? Now they're 6-2. And honestly, I know like they should have lost to the Vikings. Vikings kind of, I don't know. They had. Let's not talk about that. It could be, but it could be already 3 in a row. But yeah, we'll see. And again, you got Cardinals in that division too, like tied with the Rams, 1 game back. Like that is still the best division, I think, in football. And I think it'll come down to all the division games they have left to play.
I just like the Rams' defense better. I mean,
yeah. You got a better offense with Seattle. You got a much better defense with LA.
You just can't trust Jared Goff. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he's on, then the Rams could blow him out. But if Goff is a little off, and if Wilson like has one of his perfect games, which he's very capable of having, like it'll be a good game. I'm still shocked. I'm shocked that the Seahawks aren't a 1 or a 2 point favorite, and the Rams are 2 point favorites.
Yeah.
That's all.
Henderson Jr. is playing again this week, and we'll see if they get the run game. We haven't really talked much about Higbee. Like he was like a viable tight end like target there for a while.
Is he coming back or is he still injured?
Is he? Maybe
I think
injured.
He's still injured. He has been. Because I know, I only know from Fantasy League. Someone started him and got 0 points from him because he didn't even start.
Okay, so that's probably a big thing. I mean, because he was such a huge target for them. I think that, but Woods is starting to turn it back on, and
Cooper Kupp's gotten a few more receptions here or there too. He was kind of quiet earlier in the year.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds is kind of quietly
emerging.
Yeah, he's not taking all of the targets, but the targets that are coming to him, he's grabbing it because every time I see it, I'm like, damn, they're throwing it to Reynolds more, and he's catching the ball. So
yeah,
I like the Rams.
Again, another good game. A lot of great ones here. This matchup was probably the game of the year last year as far as the regular season goes. But because of injury, not so much. We got the 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. Niners are pretty much going with their second and third strings all year, mainly because of injury. What's his nuts is starting for the quarterback for the Niners. Mullins, there it is. What's his nuts? He went to the same college as Brett Favre. Only 2 quarterbacks to start in the NFL from Southern Mississippi? Yeah. Saints are 9.5 point favorites. I picked up the Saints defense this week in fantasy because of the third string. I mean, their running backs are all out. There's no Mostert, no Kittle. They are getting some wide receivers back. Ayuk will be out there. Michael Bourne. I almost said Jason Bourne.
Kendrick.
Kendrick. That Bourne guy will be out there. Either way, I mean, Mullins is okay, but I think the Saints.
McKinnon's going to have a huge load this week.
Yeah, we'll see if he can handle it and not get injured, because that's the MO for the Niners. I mean, just with injury,
fragile.
I think the Saints cover that 9.5. I think easy.
Yeah, I'm definitely rolling with the Saints, especially this week.
For how the way both teams look, or especially the Saints look last week against the Tampa Brady Buccaneers.
Yeah, Michael Thomas being back. It wasn't.
He still doesn't have a touchdown this year. Michael Thomas doesn't.
The fact that he didn't really need to get a touchdown, but just the fact that he was on the field really opened up a lot of things. I mean, people were wide open, and Drew Brees was having a heyday, just picking apart the Buccaneers defense.
We actually threw around bets. It was 3.5 receptions over under for Antonio Brown in his first start. And I said over. He ended up getting 3.
What is he going to do this week?
I don't know. Maybe
Think
more.
He'll get a touchdown this week?
There was one of Brady's interceptions. He Brown seemed to be coming back for the ball, and Brady went over the top.
Yeah, they were.
So I don't think that maybe they'll be more on the same page.
The chemistry is just not quite there. Maybe
it sucks because I have Godwin on my fantasy team. It's are my Godwin pass attempts going to go to Brown now, or
maybe? I mean, I don't know. They didn't look like they were on the same page, and I guarantee he's in his ear, telling him, yo, just keep throwing me the ball. Keep throwing me the ball.
But you can only do that to certain quarterbacks. You can't really do that to Tom Brady. I'll throw wherever I want to throw. I'm Tom Brady, all right? I'm Tom Brady.
Oh, man,
I throw
I think
wherever I want to throw.
I think he's a little submissive to, like, AB for some reason.
Maybe. I mean, AB is, he was like considered the best wide receiver for like a 4 or 5 year stretch.
I mean, if you get him going and you get him back to that form, like they're going to be tough.
Big time. But they didn't look that way.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
So, yeah, and Bruce Arians is hating big time. He's dead anyway. Saints, yeah, I'm definitely rolling with the Saints.
Saints by a lot.
Yeah.
Last afternoon game before we get to Sunday Night Football, we got the Bengals at the Steelers. I heard, it doesn't say anything on ESPN here, but I heard 7.5-point favorites to the Steelers. This is the trap game of the year. Bengals are going to beat the Steelers and give them their first loss of the year. The 72 Dolphins can pop their champagne after this. They're coming off a bye. The Bengals are. They've got an extra week to practice again, like to prepare. I don't know, man. I like the Bengals. Joe Burrow. Bengal fans hate the Steelers so much. The Steelers are just like. They just hate the Ravens. They don't care about the other Cleveland teams.
It sucks because, I think
I'm going for it.
I think Atkins is out too, and this is the one game where he usually acts the ass, and gets a late hit or something.
Right,
and
so they won't have that.
Yeah,
I feel like
this is his big fine game, and he's going to be out.
Bengals defense will do just enough to slow. And Big Ben's not practicing all week, and there is a slight chance he doesn't play because of COVID. Right now he's in protocol because Vance McDonald, tight end for the Steelers, got it, and he was in close proximity to Vance McDonald. So him and a couple other guys, no big name, probably offensive linemen, but not like your quarterback. So the chances of him not playing, I think, are slim. But man, I'm gonna go Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bungholes. Those Bungholes are gonna beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And if they
upset of the week. Well, I have a couple out there, but that's my big one.
Even if they played the same players that they played against the Cowboys last week, that's still not good enough to beat the Bengals anyway. So
yeah,
I don't know what the hell happened to the Steelers last week.
I think they went into that game maybe just you go into a team that's struggling as bad as the Cowboys were. I don't want to say they half-assed it, but effort wasn't 100% there maybe. I mean, a divisional game is different, even if it's against Cincinnati, who, again, they're very similar to the Chargers in the way they lose games. They're always big underdogs, but they make it close, and then there's just that one crazy play at the end or something happens to them and they lose. Because it's funny because the Chargers and Bengals played week 1, and it was a close one. Mm-hmm. Fat Randy went wide right.
Fat Rand.
And that's how that would have put it to overtime. And there's also a OPI against A.J. Green in the end zone, which a touchdown got called back. But they're coming off of a big win against the Titans before their bye week for the Bengals. I don't know. I'm feeling good about the Bengals this week.
I'm not feeling so good. I'm gonna roll with the Steelers. I can't not take them. I mean. It's understandable, but if Ben isn't there, if he doesn't play, the Bengals have a really good shot at winning.
Agreed.
But yeah, I'm still rolling with the Steelers. Maybe take the Bengals and the points if you like it.
Yeah. I mean, I just I don't know. I always wish we had weather updates on here too. Because the weather can say a lot about the final outcome. But I'm gonna, what? Screw it. Go Bengals. Go Cincinnati.
Who day?
Day.
Day.
All right, we are moving on to Sunday Night Football. Excuse me. The Ravens traveling to New England take on the Patriots. This game would have been a lot more interesting if it was last year.
Yeah.
The Patriots. The Patriots just look like garbage. They barely beat the Jets. I mean, Cam Newton. He has not looked the same since his 2015 MVP year. Yeah. The year they went to the Super Bowl with Carolina.
Oh yeah, Von Miller is still living in his head, man. He's just.
I'll remember that fumble he didn't fall on forever.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't want to get
it. Dude, he's shook. I mean, that just crushed his whole ego, his whole.
From that play on, like it's been downhill for Cam Newton. Like they got there, he struggled the first part of that Super Bowl, and like that was a 1-score game when he did that.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, I don't know. Like I'll say, like maybe he's got 2, maybe 3 years max left in the NFL.
Damn, that's sad.
It's
man.
sad,
Damn.
but it's like the way things are going, because he doesn't have a great arm. He's mobile. He can run around. He's huge. Like he's fast and big. Like I don't know. Maybe he needs to be a tight end or something.
I mean, I think his arm is okay. Just like I don't know the way. I mean, it's just his like decisions that he makes. He just makes really bad decisions. Like he lives way too much in his head, and he just doesn't like. It's almost like what he's doing isn't really like coming naturally. Like he's just kind of forcing shit all the time.
Agree. Yeah.
So.
And the Ravens defense looked great against the Colts. Colts offense isn't anything to be, brag about, but I don't know. I just feel like Lamar Jackson and company will do more than enough on offense, and the Ravens defense can slow down that Patriots offense.
The Ravens have always like John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh, one of the Harbaughs, like
the Harbaughs not coaching Michigan.
Yeah, why can't we ever get the names right? There's too many brothers in this.
Yeah,
in
too many of the same last names.
Yeah, the same
too many
last
of this.
names. But like he's always had like the Patriots number. If it's Bill Belichick, like maybe it's his game plan. Maybe he sees something there.
Yeah.
But like I always like the Ravens against the Patriots. Like since I don't know, it's been at least 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Like it's been a good long streak that since they won the Super Bowl. I think
pretty much, yeah. Like it's close with both of them. A little side note here too: Lamar Jackson has 30 starts in his NFL career. 25 of those starts are wins, and that is tied for the most in the Super Bowl era. I want to say tied with Dan Marino, is what I read earlier. But yeah, Harbaugh, like if any coach has Belichick's number or like close to it, Belichick still wins some of those games, but it's Harbaugh. And yeah, I got to go with the Ravens. They're 7-point favorites. I don't know. I think they can surpass that. I think they're going to win by. They can win by a couple scores, like 10 or more. I don't know. It'll be a close one.
No, I don't think it'll be close. I think they could probably definitely win by 10. Going with the Ravens. Patriots are just not looking like they don't look like they're on the same page, and Cam's struggling. So
it'd be great if Brady and Belichick didn't make the playoffs, and because they're talking about one needs the other more than the other needs him, and then they both don't make it. It'd be like that'd be perfect. You two bastards need each other. Deal with it.
that'd be too good to be true.
Hey, it could happen.
Yeah.
Especially after Teddy Two Gloves takes him down
Dude,
this week.
Anything can happen with the NFL. That's why it pisses me off so much. I hate this league.
I love it. That's what I love about it. We think we know what we're talking about, then the complete opposite happens everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
What the hell? All right, Monday Night Football. This is a game I'll be looking forward to. The Minnesota Vikings, coming off of 2 wins, will be traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears on Monday Night Football. Bears coming off of a loss to the Titans. A couple, I believe they have lost 3 in a row, where the Vikings are winning at 2 in a row. Couple of little side stats here with this game. First of all, the Vikings have 2 wins in Soldier Field over the last 13 games, so they're 2-11. In 2007, Adrian Peterson's rookie year, he ran for 225, and we won that game.
I remember that, yeah.
And then Teddy Two Gloves brought us back from behind in 2015. Outside of those 2 games, we have lost every single game in Soldier Field.
I mean, Minnesota hasn't been the same since they haven't had those players either. So
True. Stat number 2, Kirk Cousins is 0-4 as a Viking against the Bears. The Bears in 2018 swept them. In 2019 swept them. This is their first time playing in 2020. Another Kirk Cousins fact, he is 0-9 career on Monday Night Football. With all that being said, and I'm wearing my Skull shirt, I want to be wrong. I am picking the Bears to win this game.
You like that?
I don't like that. 3-point favorites are the Vikings. I am going to pick the Bears. I will be cheering against my pick. The Bears are going to win this game.
Wow.
It's just it's the way, and the Vikings need to, if they want to keep, because they're right now they show playoff contention. They put the Vikings on there at 3-5. Again, they're coming along, but it's like we'll see. Like the Bears offense, if the Bears offense continues to look like shit, and Dalvin Cook continues to get 150 plus scrimmage yards, back-to-back games with over 200 scrimmage yards. Dalvin Cook will be the answer if we win. If the Bears can shut down the run, Vikings don't have a chance.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, the numbers say one thing, but I'm going to say the other. I mean, I think they've realized that, Cook is the answer, and they're going to keep feeding him the rock. Like I said,
So I think you picked against the Vikings all year. Have you picked them to win any
Actually,
game this week?
I think I did last week because I was.
Nope, I remember. You said Detroit. I know you said Detroit.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
I'll go back and watch that. I'll watch last week's.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape.
You said Detroit last week.
But I'm going with the Vikings this week because I'm going with the Vikings. Skull. Let's go. Let's go. Purple people eaters. Let's
Purple
go.
Pride.
Purple Pride. Yeah, man. No, keep feeding him the rock, man.
Yeah, if
keep
Delvin,
feeding him the rock.
Like the year the Vikings made the playoffs when Adrian almost broke the single season rushing record. Christian Ponder was our quarterback, and we made the playoffs that year. Dalvin Cook would have to do the same thing. Now, that's the thing, is Dalvin Cook is like Adrian Peterson in 2012 versus Dalvin Cook in 2020. The only difference is, as much as I'm critical on Kirk Cousins, he is a much better quarterback than Christian Ponder.
Yeah, he is.
So, with that being, and our playmakers are better. I think our number one receiver was like a washed-up Michael Jenkins in 2012, and we got Adam Thielen and a nice
the rookie looks
Justin
really
Jefferson.
good this year, man.
Justin
He
Jefferson
looks really
might be
good.
the best rookie wide receiver in the league.
He's not going to get rookie of the year.
For sure not. That'll go to one of the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like there's like 2 or 3 different quarterbacks. But hey, you know what? I am happy to hear you pick the Vikings this year.
You know what?
For one time.
Like Dalvin has been a beast in fantasy and real life the past couple weeks. Last week I jumped on the train. I didn't pick him. I didn't pick them to win, but I did pick up Dalvin. He was my workhorse, and
Dude is a beast.
I have a lot of faith in him right now.
Can we say he's the best running back in the NFL? I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Like right now, he's leading the league in rushing, and he's missed a game and a half because of his groin injury, and he's had a bye. So there are a lot of running backs who've had and he's still and scrimmage yards. We don't even talk about his receiving yards.
Right.
Last week, I think he broke 250 and he had 206 on the ground, and he had another 50 yards receiving, just like he did against the Packers.
And that's the difference between him and Henry is that he's versatile as a wide receiver out of the backfield,
and he can shake tackles, but he's not gonna do the Henry on Josh Norman where he makes him fly 20 yards in the air.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get some yards after contact. He can shake free, but Henry's just a beast that way. But it's just it's
a different animal.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing. But I like Cook to be. He's definitely at the top of the league right now as far as running backs.
If they can,
him and Henry 1 and 2, and then third, and I don't even know.
If they can do it, I mean, our defense showed up to slow Aaron Rodgers down enough. I mean, Matthew Stafford. I mean, if you look at this is our 3rd consecutive divisional game. Offensively, this is the worst offense in the division with Chicago. It's but Chicago always seems to put up the numbers, especially on Monday night. I remember in the 90s when we were huge favorites over Chicago, we would win those games, but barely. It would be we were 7-point favorites and we'd win by a field goal. And then ever the last decade and a half, it's no matter how good or bad either team is, Chicago just always beats the Vikings in Chicago. So that's why I will be picking Chicago, but I will want to be getting that pick wrong. I hope he gets this right. If it comes down, if we are tied on Monday night for our Schmuck Sports picks, and it's between the Vikings losing for me to win and the Vikings winning for him to win, I will gladly give him
Again.
the $200 he might win that night.
Well, again, the other part of that is like
Maybe you
know,
can pay my fee for the next week.
Oh
then.
right, yeah. I could
If it
maybe,
comes down to
possibly,
that.
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely down for that. Nick Foles is like, you know how I feel about Nick Foles. Like, I mean, he didn't do that bad last week. He threw for over 300 yards. Like,
Didn't they bring in Trubisky?
Did they?
I thought they brought him in because he injured his shoulder. So now I think like they were like fed up because the Titans I think were having their way. So like, all right, we're doing another quarterback change.
This might change
because Trubisky I think is out for this game. I don't think so. He's not even their backup.
Okay.
So it could be. I don't think. Yeah.
So he's not. Okay. So it's
for
still
sure
gonna
Foles.
Be
It's going to be Foles for sure.
If
but
it's Trubisky, that might change
if Foles
things.
has another garbage game, like you said, he maybe put up some yards, but it was in a comeback role. Like it's like those Kirk Cousins stats I always talk about. Like Kirk Cousins has some stats. A lot of them are garbage time when the team is down by 3
Don't
scores.
go away with what's working right now. Just roll with like Dalvin.
Here, it's like here's the ball, go that way. Here you go. Here's the ball, run that way. Just keep going.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll see. I like Vikings.
Let's
Skull.
see. Delvin.
Skull Vikings.
All right. I'm glad we got to finish on one of our teams, especially one winning finally, but we'll see. I don't like to get my hopes up on my purple. They let me down plenty of times in the past over the 30-plus years I've been a fan of theirs. So, if they can, and they need to. Playoff hopes are still alive for the Vikings. They would go to 5-5. Bears would be 5-5. We'd win the tiebreaker then if they win. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I think they can do it. They can definitely get in there.
I hope so. Skull, baby.
There's just not going to be any Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, now you can get that out of your head. So.
After winning last week, getting our 3rd win of the year, ain't no way the Jets are winning like 2 games this year. If the Jets get a win this year, good for them. But we've already surpassed the Jets win total beyond. Like, they would need to play, like the 49ers have their 3rd strings out there. They would need to play like the Giants 3 times with their 3rd string to win those 3 games.
If you could clinch the number 1 pick in the draft, like they could clinch probably after this week, probably, right?
Possibly. I think the Giants only have 2 wins, but then it goes to strength of schedule if they both have like the same amount of losses. I don't know. It'll be tricky there, but I feel like, if a few teams, like say the Giants win, the Washington football team wins, a few of these 2-win teams get up to 3, I cannot see the Jets winning. I mean, if they get to 2 wins, I think that'll be something else. But everybody else has a 2-game lead, and we're getting near the end. Trevor Lawrence might be playing his senior year in Clemson next year.
Oh shit! I don't know, man. They might give him some pressure to get out because DJ looks good.
He does, but at the same time, it's like you're Trevor Lawrence. What do you want? You want to be the number 1 pick and go to the Jets? Man,
you don't want to end up like Matt Leinart.
Yeah, Matt Leinart. You don't want to look like hell. You don't want to look like. Even Darnold. Like people even say Darnold still has hope to be a premier quarterback in the league.
There's no way.
If you put him in a different setting, a good offensive line, decent playmakers. I mean, Jamison Crowder is good, but one decent playmaker and a crap offensive line.
Damn.
Come on. We'll see.
So you're saying like Joe Flacco at this age is better than Sam Darnold in his early years? I mean, he's 3 years in.
I'm going to say the Jets would have won that game if Sam Darnold had started against the Patriots last week.
Oh, shit.
Not saying a lot. That's not saying too much. I think Joe Flacco, I don't know. Joe Flacco needs to retire. I know he's only been in the league for like 12 years, but Flacco,
he's
you gotta,
done.
You're nothing, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Flacco. I'm sorry.
Joe Cool. Get out of here.
He got his Super Bowl. No, seriously, it's like, here's your Super Bowl MVP, yada, yada. It's like downhill ever since then.
Yeah. There's nothing else to prove. I mean, he had to work really hard to get to that point. He's like, I don't want to put in that much.
And I remember his rookie year. I think it was either his rookie year or his second year. He came into Minnesota and played the Vikings and Brett Favre, and we got off to a huge lead. This was Favre's first year when he played well, and we got up to a huge lead. And Flacco brought him back, and they were like a 40-some yard field goal away from winning. We were up by 2. Field goal went wide left. Vikings went, but Flacco, that was Flacco in his early years versus Flacco in these years. He's thrown interceptions in the fourth quarter when he
Joe Falatio, get out of here.
Joe Falatio. Time to retire, Joe Falatio.
All right, man. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Head over to schmucksports.com to register and give yourself a chance to enter the contest. The Pick-em Contest. Last week we had 17 players. Marcus Pinckney won, so congratulations to Marcus. He had it wrapped up by Sunday Night Football, so he didn't even
Probably
go into
because
the
everybody
Monday night.
picked the Patriots.
Yeah. So it was one of those weeks, but yeah. So if you guys are interested, it's fun competition. It's some of the same players. Come, be part of the Schmuck team.
Just be a schmuck. Everyone's a schmuck,
everybody's
right?
a schmuck.
You don't want to be a schmuck. You're just a schmuck. You're already a schmuck if you don't want to be a schmuck.
Yeah. So anybody could win this thing. It's at schmucksports.com. That's schmucksports.com. And goodbye. My name is Jeremy, and that's
Fernando.
And we'll see you next week.
Peace. Skol, everybody. Skol.
Viking Skol. Peace.